evening. It is my pleasure to be here and talk about the new step in my my career adventure. And so, to begin with, after 29 years of public service, both professionally and personally, I am ready, willing, and excited to expand that experience to a greater service area, that of Multnomah County Commissioner, District Number 4. I have lived and worked in East County for 29 years. I've been blessed with a healthy, bright 15-year-old daughter, Kate, who is strongly supporting her mom in this new adventure. I am proud to have been in law enforcement for the past 29 years and honored to be the Gresham Police Chief for the last 5 years. As police chief, I have managed more than 160 employees and nearly a $22 million budget in a community of now 100,000 people. And each year, budget surplus has been returned to the general fund. As police chief, I have been dedicated to transparency and accountability to the public. I have represented this region at the state legislature, successfully bringing East County criminal gang issues to the forefront and securing $1.5 million to create the East Metro Gang Enforcement Team, and return to the legislature to extend that team's existence for an additional year. I have balanced my law enforcement career with community service. I have served on the Board of Human Solutions for the last 12 years. I have served on the Site Council for West Gresham Grade School. I'm a member of the Children's Justice Alliance, a member of the Salvation Army Board, and the Police Activities League. And more than once, I have pushed a bed in the downtown Gresham bed races. And this year I will be advocating for a women's over 50 category, so I might have success in that task. The overriding theme for my campaign is a strong, united voice for all of East Multnomah County, so that we will not just be heard, but listened to and recognized as the asset we are to this county, our region, and our state. Together, we will empower East County. Public safety at the county level is the entire criminal justice system: law enforcement, the district attorney's office, the jails, the court, and community justice. In public safety, East County has demonstrated success with cross-jurisdictional task forces. Our East Metro Gang Enforcement Team, our East County Major Crimes Team, our East County Vehicular Crimes Team all have representation on our participation from each jurisdiction, as well as every component of the criminal justice system. These partnerings translate into fiscal efficiencies, not only in public safety, but in all aspects of local and county government. I am excited that discussions have resumed for the construction of the East County Justice Facility. And I would like to take a minute to clarify that my position has been constant and firm in supporting the East County Justice Facility. In the beginning, I did question the siting of the Justice Center in the designated urban renewal area, as well as I questioned who all would be housed in the Justice Center. Those questions have been answered, the Justice Center has been sited, and we are moving forward. In fact, next week, members of the Gresham Police Department have been invited to meet with the architects for that building to have input in how that will all fall into place. Another priority for me is the equity of funding of human service dollars. It has taken way too long for Multnomah County to recognize the demographic shift of poverty to East County. For the last 7 years, the county has based their distribution of human services dollars on the 2000 census. The East County of 2000 is far different than the East County of today. There are different sources of data available. Portland State University provides yearly population projections. The Coalition for a Livable Future recently published the Regional Equity Atlas, which tracks regional trends on who we are, where we live, and access to resources. A comparison of free or reduced lunches in the Portland Public Schools and East County schools show that there has been greater than a 100% increase in the need for free and reduced lunches in the Portland Public Schools. However, in the East County schools, it's been shown to be more than a 400% increase. With these sorts of changes, with the demographic shift, similar dollars have not followed. I will be vigilant in pursuing the equity of human service dollars so that our region is receiving its fair share. A healthy community is a safe community. Economic development. Multnomah County Chair Ted Wheeler has said that East County is the gem of Multnomah County and an untapped resource. The bulk of developable land is in East County, the Columbia Cascade River District, Springwater, and Pleasant Valley. East County is fortunate to have the East Metro Economic Alliance, an organization of top business leaders who serve as the watchdog of factors that impact East County's economic development. The Alliance brings folks to the table for open discussion that leads to trust within the region. Collectively, our region, every mayor and every city councilor has signed a memorandum of understanding to work towards identifying the north-south connector for our region as good development follows good transportation. The East Metro Economic Alliance mediated the discussion concerning the proposed elimination of the business income tax in East County and was able to secure time for additional study. These are large steps in recognizing East County's asset to the entire region. As I'm here talking with law enforcement, I'd like to take a few more moments to talk about my career at the Gresham Police Department. I came to the city of Gresham in 1979 and was a patrol officer from 1979 to 1987. During the course of that time, I initiated the creation of our Explorer Post, which is now our cadet unit. I count that as one of the highlights of my career as I look around this room and see members who were explorers, cadets with the programs, who are now members of the department, supervisors, and the future leaders. I was a Teamster. We all were Teamsters when I started, and I was a Teamster rep and negotiated more than one contract on the side of labor. I developed a rape awareness project way back then that set the standard for rape awareness education within the Centennial School District. I was a crime scene investigator. We did that at a patrol level way back then. In 1987, I was transferred into detectives and served as a persons crimes investigator. The Hansen homicide, which is still one of our cold cases, kind of plagues me, as that was one that, as I said, is a cold case. I became a sergeant in 1989, and sum up my work, or the highlight, or the greatest satisfaction in my career at that sergeant's level. For those who have been by my office, it is that teamwork is summarized by a photo that hangs there with some very young members of our department, myself included, wearing red bow ties as we celebrated the holidays on Graveyard together. We also started the Rockwood Safety Action Team then. It was our first attempt at community policing, partnering regionally, and looking at areas and different ways to do business. There were some strong challenges at that time, and though the Rockwood Safety Action Team did not exist as long as originally intended, it did lead to community policing and the greater acceptance of a community policing philosophy at the Gresham Police Department. I was promoted to lieutenant in 1992. In about 1996, I helped design a study that was done. We called it the Service Study Implementation Team, that brought huge changes to the Gresham Police Department. That was right around the same time that we lost a public safety levy, brought new leadership came to the department based on the input of each and every member of the department. I was the public information officer for a period of time, and we also established a domestic violence unit, grant funded to the tune of about $280,000, which was recognized as a model of that type of teamwork and investigative team. I was promoted to captain in 2001 and was honored to be promoted to chief in October of 2002. Tough times required tough decisions. We had a budget shortfall at that time, and my priority, based on information provided by the union, based on just what I saw in everyday life, I pulled back every specialty unit, the schools, task forces back to the street. We needed to beef up what was going on, what our response on the street was happening at the line level. In order to have those positions refunded, work closely with the schools, who now pay for our school safety officers. Over the course of the last few years, as I mentioned earlier, the gang unit funding and the second round of that funding, we have created the Neighborhood Crime Response Team. As you know, the East Side Precinct for TriMet will open next week, and by July we should have 10 members of the Transit Police staffing that precinct. Again, I count these as achievements and accomplishments that I have not done alone. And none of these would not have happened without the teamwork, the high standards of every member of East County law enforcement.